Okay, so last time I was talking about the theme of timelessness in video games, and I thought I would now begin with a bit more detail about what I think of this theme. So we've all been thinking about this theme this week. So games we have are possibly in the mix. We have Goldeneye, SSX3, Prince of Persia, Tomb Raider, Modern Warfare, Metroid Prime, Half-Life, Bad Company 2, Wind Waker, Counter-Strike, Street Fighter 2, Max Payne, Pokemon Blue, Resident Evil 4, Smash Bros. Melee, Shadow of the Colossus, Gears of War 3, Tetris, Hitman Blood Money, perhaps, SimCity 4, and Mega Man 2. Now, these are just, of course, some of the games I can think of, and suggestions made by other people, but of course there are so many more out there. But so if I've missed any of them, feel free to correct me on that. So that's just a kind of initial list on horror video games, and not horror video games. I'm not doing horror video games anymore. Oh dear, I've been doing this so long. Horror video games. I'm still thinking of horror. Right, okay. I'll try that again. Right, so that was a list of timeless non-horror games. So I'm just trying to switch my way out of horror temporarily. It's obviously still bumping around in there somewhere. So moving on. So just to get this discussion started, I recently went into my loft and found my N64 and my SNES. So I plugged them in with all of my games, and I came across Goldeneye. Now, I think quite a few people would agree that Goldeneye is a very important video game in terms of the development of the shooter. And the timeless characteristic for me, which kind of shone above everything else, was the soundtrack. Now, it's the music score for Goldeneye obviously hasn't changed at all. It hasn't degraded, it hasn't got worse, it still remains as strong as it was before. So, but you could say, you can't say a characteristic of a video game, the timeless aspect is music. You can't really say that. It has to be unique to video games. So I thought, right, okay, so if we ignore the music then, what are the unique elements of Goldeneye which stand the test of time? So, for me, it's the death animations by a mile. I think the animations of the enemies dying and falling on the ground, and I think these, in some way, they have more character than death animations seen in modern video games. So, it's the animation which survives, although the graphical power is weak, the style remains. I think this is quite an important, timeless characteristic of Goldeneye. Perhaps if we focus the conversation around Goldeneye and why this game is remembered, why this game is important, and indeed, if you think this game isn't timeless, then please let me know, and we can all discuss the shining characteristics of this game and why and how it's managed to survive all these years. By today's standard, this game has been surpassed and beaten into the ground by technology, there's no doubt about that, but there are some very small fragments of this game which live on, and ultimately will live on forever. So, an important game, Goldeneye. Maybe we can talk about this, and if there's anything else you guys can think of in regards to this game, and then perhaps I could do a response video talking about Goldeneye or something, maybe. Try and get the discussion going backwards and forwards. That could be cool. So, yep, so that's the end of this video. And I hope to see you guys next time. So, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. You can tweet me at the HorrorVG. This is the Horror Video Games, and I'll see you next time.